Hello everyone, hopefully you are doing fine. I'm Nasi Alam, Graduate Teaching Assistant, Department of English, North Dakota State University. Welcome to my channel, Simple Talk. On my channel, I usually post Duolingo English test videos, but thanks to my student Shipon, who requested me to make a video on how to write an article review, I thought it would be an interesting topic to discuss. Let me give it a hand. Okay. So look at my identity here. You find it in the first slide. Let's go to the next slide. What is an article review? Recently, I wrote an article review. I scored an A plus there. I just followed my teacher's guidelines. Usually in a course, you'll follow your teacher's assignment instructions and you can talk to your teachers if you're confused about it. But if you're afraid of asking your teachers questions, then this video could be useful to you. What I did or what you could do. First, choose a topic that I'm gonna work on population problem. Then find out some articles related to population problem. Then select the best article that you think that speaks your voice or that you feel related to. Then what you will do, first create an outline, identify, summarize and evaluate the ideas presented in the topic. So first identify the topic, then summarize the topic and evaluate the topic. How will you do that? What I do, first I read the conclusion of the article first, then I read the introduction of the article, then I skim and I look for the key information. This is how I get the main ideas of the article. And I also look for the writer's methodology, the kind of methodology he is using. Sometimes the writer says, I attempt to find this information, I attempt to evaluate this information. These are the things I always work on. Then, and I collected this information from Central University website. Then before you read the article, what will you do? Definitely look at the title. Very important. Sometimes the title gives you the suggestive meanings that by looking at the title you might think that maybe the article is about that, the article discusses that. So have a general assumption first, then look at the subtitles or look at the subheadings. Okay, subheadings means you have the title, that's the main title, population problem in Bangladesh, but subheadings, that there could be traffic issues, there could be drugs problem, there could be some other issues that the writer talks about. The main heading is population problem, but there are some other subheadings that you can also look at. Okay, remember in the USA or in North America, you will have to read almost 200 to 300 articles in a week. So you won't have much time. So you may have to have some shortcuts. So the way is, I always tell you, I got it from Zachary Shore's book, Graduate Essentials. The idea is read the conclusion first, then go to the introduction and then summarize them. And then after that, just pick up the highlighting moments or pick up the key moments. That's what I do. Then also you can gain some information about the writer, what the writer, whether the writer is credible or not. You have to find it out. Let's say I'm posting Duolingo test videos. Am I credible? Yes, I'm credible because I took the tests twice. I scored 140. It proves my credibility. Then I can talk about the Duolingo test videos. Can I talk about physics? Can I talk about physics experimentation? I won't say so because I'm not qualified enough to talk about it. Can I coach someone in cricket, someone in soccer? No, I'm not qualified enough. So I have my credibility. So when you read an article, before you go into the article, see whether the writer is credible or not. That is something you can also work on. I'm saying there are many ways of writing an overview, or there are many ways of reading an article. Then, oh, also go to these websites, or you go to your university, check out their websites. You can talk to your professors, talk to any friends. They can help you with the library information or library databases. So always look for information that are found in the library. they are all credible information. Also, gesture is very helpful. I'll show you the link later on. Then what else? Who is the, while reading the article, you need to know who the intended audience is. Sometimes an article is written for other scholars, sometimes it is written for common people. If you read a newspaper article, it's only for common people or the common people. Or if you read a scholarly article, maybe it is for some scholars. So while reading it, you need to understand who the targeted audience is. And sometimes you come across difficult terminology. Some writers do not discuss it, some writers define it. So while reading it, you need to understand whether, or you need to see whether the writer is using the writer is defining the key terminology or not. That is important. And sometimes some writers do not present facts, some writers only give opinions. So also look at that, whether the writer is factual, is the factual information credible, is the illustration credible. Also see whether the writer is using the facts only, or is he also describing the facts. Is he describing the data? Is he only sharing his opinion? So find it out. Then also, I said earlier, look for the writer's central arguments and conclusions. So what is the central argument? What are the central arguments? Then see how the writer is using his opinion, how the writer is doing his research, find it out. So you're building up a relationship with the writer, and what are the methodologies and what are the gaps important. Some writers, see, they present everything in vivid details, but somehow you find some gaps, some research gaps. Let's say somebody is talking about World Cup cricket or World Cup soccer, but when he talks about the World Cup soccer matches, he only refers to the male versions of the matches, and he forgets to include the female versions of the matches. So that is a gap. So you have identified that gap in your paper. You are going to, first of all, when you are writing your review, you are gonna summarize, then evaluate. In your evaluation, you can talk about these gaps, but remember, in your summary, you can't present your own opinion. You have to stay true to the article. Then let's move to the next paragraph. How, when you start writing, what will be your first paragraph like? In your first paragraph, you should state your position. There should be a thesis point. It should not be a summary. In your paragraph, you should discuss that I'm going to discuss this topic from the article, which I find insightful. Okay, you don't have to discuss everything from the article. Just discuss the relevant topic that you have chosen to work on from the article. Then discuss what is the writer's purpose, how is he conveying his messages, and how is he giving his or how is he targeting his intended audience, what is his purpose, what is his genre. So these are the things you have to work on, and what is the situation too. Then also see how the article is relevant to other articles. Do other writers discuss the same topic? So what are the similarities, what are the differences? You can even talk about it, but you don't have to discuss everything in details, just a brief overview in your introduction. And also look at the credibility of the writer, whether the writer is credible or not. So that's what you have to write in your first paragraph, that you can clearly state the thesis argument of your paper or the topic you want to work on from the article. Then you can talk about the writer's purpose, how the writer is describing his situation. Then talk about the relevance of the topic, how that topic is discussed by other writers, and also see whether the writer is credible or not. So you can state all these facts in your first paragraph. Then in your second paragraph, you can write about the arguments that the writer possesses in support of your thesis. Then how you are, just look at, so what you can do in your second paragraph, just summarize the argument of the writer in your own words. Okay, summarize the argument means just stay related to the topic and summarize that argument, not in too many words, 150 to 200 words at max. Sometimes your teachers might want more, talk to your teachers about it, but I would say 150 to 200 words, not much. Then discuss in your evaluation part, discuss the topic, find out some strengths from the article, find out some weaknesses, find out some gaps, and how other writers are talking about the topic, and do you see similarities, do you see differences, and what gaps you find, and how would you fill up the gap if you were the writer of this article. Sometimes like something like that. That is how you can make your review clear. Then, so for my sources, I collected this information from Queen's University Library, from Central Michigan Library, and you can also click on these links. You can find more information about these sources. Okay, so to summarize how I will write my article review. Number one, I'll talk to my teacher and I will ask him questions about the assignment instructions, and I will raise my confusion. If I'm not clear, I will watch this video. What will I do after watching this video? I will choose an article. I will at first look at the credibility of the writer. I will Google the writer, see whether the article is written by the credible person or not. Then I will look at the topic. I will look at the conclusion first, then I will read the introduction. Then I will summarize the concluding part and the introductory part, and I will see whether the article is relevant to my topic or not, or is the article relevant or not. Should I discuss the article more or not? If I see that, I like the article, I get the message, and I think I can explore it further, then I will read other articles related to the topic. Then I will also read this article definitely. And then I will summarize the main argument of the topic. I will not summarize everything, just the main argument. Then I will analyze. In my analysis, I will focus on my article. I will look at the gaps of this article, and I will also bring in other articles just to see how they compare, how they contradict, what are the gaps, and how I will fill up the gaps. And that is what I will argue about. And the minimum length, it could be 3 pages, it could be 5 pages. It depends on the instructors. And Times New Roman 12 font. And I would say that's the way I follow to write my article review. But there are many other ways. You talk to your teachers and they will help you out. So this is the brief outline. I hope my video will reach out to you, and continue to like and subscribe to my channel. I will be delighted. I'm Nasi Alam signing off, a second language speaker. So I hope you might find some grammatical mistakes, but I hope my message is clearly conveyed. Take care. Have a good one.